Welcome back, everybody, to DK and Dan Like Bands. I'm Dan. And it has come to my attention. Breaking news, I like bands.
Hi, I'm DK. And also, in that same news article, I saw near the bottom that I also like bands. It's in there. Check it out.
Oh, wow. I'm Kron Howard, and I wasn't even featured in the article because the one thing people know about me, since my birth, I've loved bands.
Wow.
You were in the very back asking for weird things.
In the back of the article?
No, not the newspaper. The classifieds.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I believe that.
I need 800 pounds of spandex material. No questions.
I mean, I would ask questions.
No questions. It says it right there in the fucking post, dude.
How many people have texted you and you've said no questions?
Every single one of them.
Damn it. All right. Well, Kron Howard, welcome to DK and Dan Like Bands. We weren't sure if you're going to make the cut, but here you are.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I mean, DK it took some convincing. I'll just say that much.
Yeah, let's just say I was the stumbling block on this one.
I think I figured out eventually who was stonewalling me coming on this show.
Nobody. We were stonewalling because this incredible discography from the band that we're going to talk about tonight. That's why we were stonewalling.
Maybe.
That band is the Melvins.
It's just Melvins, Dan.
It's just Melvins, dude.
Thank you.
Clearly, you're not a Melvins guy.
Yeah, you're not a fan, dude.
I legally changed my name to Melvin Dan.
I mean,
Melvin Dan.
Yeah.
They do have releases that say the Melvins on them, so.
God damn it.
Obviously, you weren't paying attention.
And one even says Los Melvins, so.
That is true on Three Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Should we tell people who Kron is and like what his whole thing is? Like why he's here? Like we know why he's here, but should we talk about his stuff?
Kron, I guess tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me every week wherever you get podcasts with one of these co-hosts, Dan, on a little show called the 5 Day Rentals Podcast. It's a movie show. And DK's been on it a bunch, so if you like him, just find one of his episodes and listen to that.
Spawn. Go for Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Seasonal.
Season 2?
Dan, our seasons are... they take years to accomplish.
That's why they're so important.
No one needs to follow that.
They're eras.
I'm more of a season 2 era guy. Yeah, 1/3 of the Dirty Dudes of 5DR. Yeah, you're doing great work over there. You always make me laugh. I think you're the best host.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I think you're the best host.
Oh, thanks, buddy. DK, your episodes have been better than our other host.
I don't believe that for a second. Not for a moment. Sorry. But I wanted to point out that currently you guys are doing Kron's Crypt. Mm-hmm. And boy, is that a treat for me. I'm a big Tales from the Crypt guy, and wow, a delight.
Yeah, that's why we had you on for those episodes.
What are you talking about? That hasn't happened yet.
It probably will have happened by the time this comes out.
Oh, you might be right.
By the time I remember 2 weeks from now, I'm like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. But we are here to talk about the Melvins tonight. We're going to do a top 3 for me on a discography that features, oh, my God, 28 albums, live albums, singles, all kinds of shit. Yeah, it is debatable. I mean, what we call an album here.
I'd say like 30 plus.
I would say over 30. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
easily.
mean, regular albums plus live albums. You got acoustic albums, you know. Yeah, I guess you can say albums. I just said albums after all those, so.
Albums.
They definitely
LPs.
they got albums, dude.
They
This
got
band,
'em.
They got albums.
Ow. Bums. But yeah. How we feeling, guys? Are we all right? Was the journey tough?
It's like a normal month for me, so
Yeah, I figured. Kron is a Melvin guy.
just kind of locked in, you know?
I enjoy the task of it. I enjoy the assignment. I enjoy the work of, hey, here's 30 plus albums you've never heard. Let's go. So I did enjoy that. I won't give any thoughts yet.
Yes, thank you.
Dan, how was it for you? You seem to be going through some peaks and valleys, dude.
We do the work here on DK and Dan like bands, and we'll get to that soon enough. But I think first up on our agenda, we're gonna hit you with some of this news Bruise, baby. We're gonna cover some of the local, not local news.
Local to the internet.
Most recent hard rock and heavy metal news. DK, did you have anything?
On the news,
Yeah, that you wanted to talk about today?
I feel like you're
Maybe.
pushing me towards something that I'm involved with.
Maybe you got some news today?
Are we talking about Letters to Dracula? Is that what you're talking about?
Let's talk about letters from
Is that what you're
Dracula,
talking
DK.
about?
Oh, dude, did Dracula write you a letter for
He wrote me a
real?
letter, you guys. He finally responded.
Was it an actual letter or an email?
It was on parchment.
Yeah, dude. He's old
wonderful.
school.
Yeah, man. It was a wax seal.
Oh.
He just signed it with a big D at the end.
I bet he did.
Oh, a huge D. Is this what you want, Dan? Is this what you
Yes.
were going for? Okay, all right.
I want to hear about it.
All right. Well,
Uh-oh.
the CDs have come in,
Whoa.
so there's that.
Holy shit.
Fang mail. I know people listening cannot see me holding it up, but it's real.
Physically in his hand.
Physically in my hand. These will be available on Bandcamp by the time you hear this. They may be sold out, honestly, by the time you hear this, because they're pretty limited. Also, I just received word a mere hour or two ago
Uh-oh.
that tapes are going to be available on launch. So we will have cassettes.
Fuck yeah.
I don't have them in hand because my partner has them. But that's the cover there. We got it to fit on a tape. I don't know if this is going to... There you go. It's real.
Sweet, dude.
So there will be some cassette tapes available. It will be all through Bandcamp. It's like instrumental, metal, synth. We love John Carpenter type stuff. And
When
that
can I
is-
get the clear vinyl with blood splatter in it?
Look, I would love to do vinyl, but it is prohibitively expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
So we'll see how this other physical media goes. But if people somehow do like it and want it, we will consider it for sure. But because I would love to own that myself, to be honest.
Could you fit it on? It might be too long. I was gonna say both sides of a 7.
I looked at that and I think we're too long.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a problem throughout my life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not
So-
Kron's.
But if you're listening, I'm sure. Well, yeah, it comes out this Friday, so I'm sure it's available now. Look, you can get it on Bandcamp for name your own price. If you want to pay for it, great. We appreciate that, but it's free there. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon, iTunes, wherever you get your music. So, I know you guys have heard it. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I thank you for letting me talk about it, Dan.
It's great stuff.
Oh,
I
man,
loved it.
I loved it too. The EP ends on an incredible high note for me. So I feel like it all builds to the last 2 tracks. I mean, after listening to it, I'm ready for a full length Letters from Dracula. So
Hey, if you are interested in DK's project, Letters to Dracula, there's a Bandcamp link on this episode description. Check it out.
Did I say
Thank you,
to
guys.
or from? Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. It
Terrible.
does not
It's
matter.
letters to Dracula.
I'm going to get the gun.
I sincerely appreciate you guys checking it out. Thank you. Thank you for letting me talk about it.
It's beautiful work. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, more news to come. Typo Negative, DK. You ever heard of these guys?
I have. I'm a huge fan.
Might be having something coming up here soon. Maybe. Hopefully.
So the word is that this could be a Peter Seal tribute show. I cannot imagine we would get any full-fledged touring or anything. I don't think they're going to do the Static X Weekend at Bernie's thing. Maybe, but I just don't think so. There's so much like love and respect, and not that they don't have that for Wayne in Static X, but you know what I mean. I feel like Typo is somehow more sacred in a way, and maybe that's wrong of me to say, but there is this the love for Typo, and it has become like a legendary thing. And like people have tried constantly to replace Peter with their own projects, and there's so many Typo Negative knockoffs here and there, and you can't. I think Neon Nightmare comes the closest, and I would like to see that guy maybe be involved if they're doing a tribute show. But my guess is that they plan like a huge event, and they do just like they cycle through a bunch of guest vocalists, and they do just a bunch of greatest hits and have different vocalists. I think that's probably the best you can hope for. Maybe they release a DVD or whatever of that. I would love that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the best way to approach that is multiple guests. Even, get Jack Black out there. Why not? Let's have some fun with it. But they've waited this long, so yeah, I think it is a serious, let's pump the brakes. Let's see what the plan is. So.
I think they're trying to make it very clear, like this is not a cash grab. This would have happened so long ago if it was a cash thing. It's clearly not about that. They clearly lost a brother. You know what I mean? Like I think this is truly going to be a tribute, if it even happens. This is just a rumor. But they said they're having very realistic talks. So for my money, look, keep listening to the old stuff and just hope that we get anything.
DK, would you fly to wherever in the United States for that reunion show or tribute show?
I mean, look, the chances of me getting tickets even would be 0, but less than 0 even, to make a Typo Negative reference. But, I would not consider it. Mm-hmm. Let's say that. That's how important they are to me.
It had to be New York.
Yeah, so or somewhere over there anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's all hope they knock off the October rust and get it done.
Thank you. Because my world is coming down.
Those are all song references, Kron.
Yeah, butthole cover.
That's all you have to say.
Best reference yet. Playgirl.
What else do we got here? We got Rush has decided to throw the walkers aside and rock. You guys excited? Who cares?
I know the song Tom Sawyer. I'd be hard pressed to name you more Rush songs.
YYZ.
Female drummer.
I know it's one of those bands where the people that get into it are like way into it
For life. But, yeah, they're like that. Yeah. The Rush fans I know, it's like their defining trait as a person.
Yeah, it's weird.
I just never got, never hit me that way.
My wife has a Rush thing. But she grew up with that one album, 2112, is it?
Yeah.
Or Moving Pictures even, I think is the one really. And so she will put it on just randomly cleaning the house, or like we have a pinball machine. She'll turn Rush on and play pinball. And it's just like, I don't know, for her it's like a nostalgia thing. And they've grown to be part of my I won't ever seek them out, to be honest, but like when they're on, I'm enjoying it. And as a musician, I can really appreciate, the cool stuff they're doing.
I mean, hey, they need cash too. They got bills to pay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get a lot of expenses when you hit that period of life, and
yeah. Guys, we got any other news? D'Angelo, rest in peace.
mm-hmm.
I saw that he was like 51.
Yeah,
Pancreatic cancer, I believe.
God damn it. Awful.
Yeah. I always enjoyed his tunes whenever they came through whatever radio I was in front of, so.
Sure.
Yeah. That's about it for news. You guys got anything else? Kron, you gonna buy that Slipknot house?
no, I sent Dan an article today that the house that Slipknot wrecks in Duality, the video for it, is up for sale. So you yourself could buy it, dear listener.
If you want to live in Iowa.
I think also it's a big week for celebrity houses because the Conjuring house is for sale.
Which one?
I believe. Like the real life Conjuring house.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Where it all happened for real.
Sounds spooky, dude.
Oh, my
I don't
God.
want any part of that.
I could afford it. I could afford it monetarily, but like scares wise, no way, guys.
Like back in the day, that was a discount. Like now they add like $3 million because
It will be several $1 million, I'm sure.
Oh, whoever buys it is turning it into a haunted Airbnb. Like that's what's gonna
coffee
happen.
shop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the B's both stand for boo.
Mm-hmm.
And they're upside down.
Oh shit.
God.
Hey, this is a side note, but my wife has this blanket that says boo. It's like embroidered on there and it says boo and like ghosts and shit on it. But when you flip it over, it says poo. They all say poo.
How's the B turn into a P?
Trust me, buddy. It goes the other way.
Wouldn't it say oob?
No, it says poo. Look, if you need me to take a video, I'll do it.
Lowercase, bro.
It's a lowercase. Well, I think he knew
Oh, okay.
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't.
that. Okay, I'm trying to give you... Okay. All right. The poo blanket is
You
called.
see why I told you maybe this isn't such a good idea?
This is a bad idea,
The
dude.
guy's dumb, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm texting my wife.
He listens to the Melvins.
It's just Melvin's, actually.
Hey, that was your news bruise. You think that works? News bruise?
News Bruise.
Our news cruise?
Do you want to know if I think that it works?
Yeah, that title for that.
No.
We got to get fancy with our titles and get some like music to them and shit.
We could do that.
Hey, you're about to have a news bruise.
Let's think about that.
I'd say keep throwing the names around. Don't just settle.
Keep
for
saying the
News
same
Brews.
one.
If you say it long enough, it has to be accepted.
What's another word for news? Is there one?
Information station.
That's better than News Brews.
That's got to sound like metal.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the news is inherently unmetal, dude. I mean,
Not if you make it metal,
People in
dude.
suits, people
Yeah.
wearing ties telling you about the stock market. Fuck
Yes.
that, dude.
sitting around in a tweed jacket reading the paper. I don't know, dude.
Join us next week for our new show, DK and Dan Like Stocks. All right. That's the news, folks. This is news. It's probably 3 weeks old by the time you hear this.
That was the News Bruise.
See? Works.
Wait, but are you saying bruise like it's a drink, or are you saying a bruise like you've been hit in the mosh pit
Like a bruise.
and it's
like
a bruise? I was thinking it was like a news brew, like we're alcoholics and metal guys, and so it's a brew. That's what I was thinking the entire time. That's what you meant.
I mean, that could work too.
No, it's
like,
worse.
Like a BR, lowercase BREW.
Yeah, but Bruise is better. Like what you meant originally is better.
Well, now that you get it, is it better?
News Bruise. It would be a news bruise or the news bruise.
The news bruise? Because we're hitting you with the news. It's going to leave a bruise. So stupid. This is shit we should have talked about 6 months ago.
Oh, I think maybe now news bruise, it has to be.
It has to be. Kron, thank you for being part of this news bruise.
Oh, you got it, buddy. I'm happy to be here for the first.
Hopefully that black eye heals in time for your Christmas pictures. Hey! Kron Howard, you got any recommendations for our listeners this week? What's new? What's fresh? You got any singles? You got any records you've been listening to? Tell us what you've been doing, man.
Guys, I've been listening to the new Elder EP, I guess. It's labeled as an EP. I mean, it's only 2 songs, but I think it's like 20-some minutes.
Yeah, but it's like counts. One long song and one normal length song.
Yeah, that's true. But it's called Liminality and Dream State Return. I got there. It's pretty damn good. I mean, it's definitely proggy. I feel like I've been steadily getting more and more into proggy stuff, so I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Their album before this, I wasn't huge on. Like, I always kind of liked their first 3 albums because they seemed more doomy in a way. But I don't know. They're kind of just fully prog at this point, and I dig it. I mean,
sometimes you just need a way in. Mm-hmm. It's like they start as a thing you like, and then they evolve, and you go, okay, fine. I like this new form.
It works sometimes. Like I think it works really well here. I don't love kind of the pallbearer step into prog. Like, I definitely love their doom records a whole lot more.
Sure.
But I don't know, man. New Elder's pretty solid. I'm like, this EP gets me excited for, the next full length that they got coming out. So
I listened to it as well. And I mean, this kind of prog stuff is like right down my street, as they say. So they're doing a bunch of things like right off the bat. I was like, oh shit, okay, oh shit. The vocals are totally good. The lyrics were interesting, but like musically, it's like hitting all the notes for me. I really want to deep dive into that EP actually, because just that long track alone is like amazing. But both tracks really good. So yeah, I also would recommend it to people. It's really fucking good.
It's got like cool. I don't know if they got more than one vocalist, but at least the vocals, I mean, it sounds like they've got 2, 3, maybe 4 vocal tracks where he's doing this cool kind of stacked thing.
Yep.
It just sounds really big, like, because you get these long stretches where it's just music and then the vocals will come back and it's like, oh man, this fucking working,
I wouldn't say that he's like the world's most amazing vocalist, and like this is not like not a knock, but he seems to really know when to be singing and when not to be singing, which sometimes Dream Theater is a big problem. So I wish Dream Theater would just be instrumental. Holy shit. But that's not why we're here. I truly hate their vocalists. I'm sorry.
I do feel like that's where the stacking works, though, because I would agree, like, he probably doesn't have the biggest range out of any vocalist, but it sounds big because you've got 4 layers of vocal tracks all sitting on top of each other.
Yeah, so he's hitting some interesting harmonies. He's got some cool rhythms and stuff. All in all, he's making it work. So, I would give it a thumbs up.
Is space, like, rock coming back? Space metal has been there. That's a whole genre you could get into on your own. But
well, I feel like honestly, it's like all that black metal proggy shit that's kind of gotten me being like, let me expand my horizons on this a little.
Yeah, this sounds good, man. I enjoyed it. Took it out for the walk today, and I said I wish there was more here. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about Rush earlier. I got some of that. A little in there. even Blood Incantation, their new record, got a little, not as heavy, but The Journey, we'll say.
Yeah, and I guess I said black metal. I meant death metal because I was definitely thinking like Blood Incantation and what's that other band? I can't remember now.
Welcome to DK and Dan like this.
Yeah.
Not remembering shit. Yeah, that's us.
Nothing.
But I feel like, like death metal's they're kind of collectively being like, let's fucking expand the horizons. And then to me, it's kind of making me be like, well, maybe I just like prog stuff too. Maybe I should venture into that well.
Hey, if you need some suggestions.
All right.
Or if we want to go on a journey of some kind with prog, I would love to help you. Or just go along and listen along with whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right,
That's my shit.
We can talk offline.
Hell yeah.
DK and Dan like Prague in 2026. And we're not talking about the Czech Republic. They call it the Czech Republic now, or is it Czech Republic? It's not Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like there's vampires there.
Vampires. Maybe you should write a letter to them. Check out Letters to Dracula, folks. It's amazing. All right. DK, I know you got something. You wouldn't show up if you didn't.
Yeah. So my recommendation is a full album. I know last time I told you guys about Pendulum, which I'm still listening to that record. But this album is the new one from The Midnight. It's a synthwave record. I don't know if you guys... I don't know how much synthwave you guys are doing in your daily lives. But it's... Man, the album's called Syndicate. And it is... They're an interesting combination because it's very synth, like, 80s soundtrack sounding. But the vocalist is really good. But he's almost like... Vocally, he comes, to me anyway, he comes from a place that seems to be more like a singer-songwriter place. Like, if you take away the synthwave, he's still writing these, like I don't want to compare him to, like, Dylan or anything, but, like, those kind of, like, lyrics and stories that he's telling. But it's all over this, like, it's all dressed up in this synthwave thing, and, there's something on this album that's just like, it's just hitting me perfect. I've liked everything they've done. And, prepare for saxophone. There's going to be saxophone in there. But I don't know, man. The song Syndicate alone, the title track is like, holy shit. But I like the whole record. It's a long album. And some of these tracks are like, they're finally taking their time on some of these tracks. There's one, the standout for me is right near the end. And they're pretty much like, doing whatever they want at this point because they've had a bunch of albums, and it's called the Sanctuary. It's almost like cinematic, again, like synth piano, but then vocals. Like it has this like, you guys know that Imogen Heap song, Hide and Seek?
Hell yeah, dude.
Where she's like doing all those different layers.
Mm-hmm.
It has a vocal thing like that in there. And it hits really hard, and it builds to this like amazing finish. And I really, that track in particular is like, it blows me away. So anyway, the album Syndicate, look, they're not heavy. I know this is more of a metal show, but this is for a certain vibe. This is for a certain time of your day. Definitely going to recommend it.
It's good shit. Would you say more mature?
It's more
maturing, I guess,
for the genre of synthwave. I mean, because most of that stuff is just like talking about cyberpunk and Gundams and shit. Johnny Silverhand bullshit. But really, like, this is more. It definitely lyrically, he's really covering some heavy shit in some of these tracks, I think. And yeah, I think and musically they've come a long way. So yeah, I think it's more mature in a couple ways.
I'm not all the way through. I have all the singles that were released up to it.
What do you think? I mean, are you into it at all?
Yeah, I enjoy the Midnight. I was turned on to them when we started this show from you, and I like everything I've heard from them.
It's fucking awesome. One of the coolest shows I've ever been to was the Midnight.
So check them out, Kron.
I'll check them out. I can dig some synthwavy kind of stuff.
Like I said, it's not for all the time, but there will be a time of your day when it might be the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Would you consider like all that stuff that Johnny Jewel, the guy who does Italians Do It Better, that label, does that count as like synthwave? Or is synthwave faster?
No, I think it can be.
Okay.
I don't think necessarily the tempo defines it.
Okay. Because, I mean, that's all, like, synth-heavy music, but I don't know. I guess I don't know what defines the genre,
Yeah, it is a broad term, so you can have definitely a lot of there's, like, dark synth, and there's, there's actually tons of subgenres within it. So, Outrun, I think could be considered one of those. Retro wave is different than synth wave. There's just so many different little subsets, but yeah, probably so.
It's a whole world of music out there, folks. We're just a small portion of it.
Subgenres get so crazy too, man. Like when you're like, oh, I like metal, and then it's like, okay, well, there's 800 different versions of that.
Yeah, cool. I also love Five Finger Death Punch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do not.
I found myself on the Motograder wiki page the other day. I didn't know they had more than one record. They tried to come back in like 2016 or some shit. I was like, what? Okay.
Well, Dan, how many do you have?
The Motograder lives.
I think at one point, it might have been around that time where they toured and they were like, the return.
That completely missed me. Apparently Cold Chamber came back too, and I was like, what the shit was this?
Yeah, I remember looking them up one time and being like, I didn't know they had this many albums. I thought they only had like 2 or 3. But those fuckers. Who needs him? I hear he's a terrible manager as well.
Yeah. Careful, you don't want to get sued here.
We'll discuss that on the Christmas show. Hey, I got a recommendation for you boys. It's the new Chat Pile and Hayden Padego track, Demon Time. They got an album coming out called In the Earth Again. It's going to be released on Devil's Night, October 30th, from Computer Students, who, if you haven't checked out that label, they do an excellent job on their packaging and just really great label to check out. They do some of the weirder acts out there.
It comes out on Devil's Night?
Yeah, October 30th.
Fire it up!
But it's called In the Earth Again. Check it out. They got another single out too. I can't remember what it's fucking called. But yeah, there's 2 out right now, and it comes out on the 30th full album. Hayden is he's kind of like an acoustic country guy, but he just does instrumental stuff. It's pretty interesting. His albums are pretty cool. So if you want to check him out, they did an album together. I think he just recently moved to Oklahoma City, where Chat Pile's from, and they collaborated. And this will soon be in my hands. Because I love me some Chat Pile. So check it out.
Hell yeah. I was going to ask you who that dude was, because, I mean, I know Chat Pile, but yeah, I don't know if I'd ever heard of, the guy they're working with, so.
Yeah, he released an album this year as well, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I think you'd like that, Kron. If you like, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't do lyrics or anything, but I think if you like John Prine, you'd be into. You could definitely get some enjoyment there out of Hayden.
I'll check it out.
DK.
I'll check anything out. You send me a link, fucker.
I know. Where are we at? DK. You're on the hot seat, buddy. Now, from my understanding, you've went to 2 shows, and you know that I want to hear it.
Yes, I go to the show. I did see Marilyn Manson recently, as I was dreading and telling you about, the listener. Listen, I'm not a Manson guy, never have been, but my wife, she was from way back, and she never got to see him, back in the 90s when she really wanted to. So she's like, look, tickets are cheap. It's at the pageant. We should just go. Just take me to see Marilyn Manson. Show me that you love me. And so I did. And you know what? There was only one opener. They were very respectful of our time. They were not bad. It was 7 hours after Violet. Do you guys know them?
No.
I never heard of them. I did check them out beforehand, and I was like, oh, at least they're not making me mad. When we got there and they started playing, I'm like, I recognize the bass player. Who the fuck is that? And he's clearly like a spotlight. They gave him his own microphone. Even though he's not the singer, and everyone's kind of like clearly reverent to him. And I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? He's bald guy with a braided goatee thing. And I'm like, who is this man? And then at the very end, he gets on the mic and he goes, oh, thank you for having me in your beautiful city. I've been here with System of a Down many times. It was Chavo from System of a Down.
Yeah, look at that.
Playing bass. And then I put it together 7 hours after Violet. Chavo, Shavo. It's like his side project, I guess. I don't think they're anything. I don't know. I don't want to be rude to them, but they didn't really do it for me. But look, they had a really nice stage presence. Again, they were very respectful of my time, and they really didn't do anything to make me mad. And they were pretty heavy. He did some of that. I mean, I felt like an idiot when I finally realized who he was, because I was like, oh, because half these songs sound like Ariel's, like the bass anyway. I'm like really hearing the bass, and I'm like, that guy sounds like he's just doing System of a Down. What's going on? It was right there the whole time. So they were fine, honestly. It's not something where I walked away and was like, I'm buying the record. Spotify has started to include them for me, and I'm skipping them about half the time. But, whatever, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So then Manson comes on, and this is obviously my first time seeing him. I didn't expect all the spitting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Does he spit on the audience?
He spits
Everywhere.
Constantly, to the point where he's handing out towels to people. He's literally throwing towels into the audience too. I don't know if that's like to make up for the spitting, or if it's just like he'll wipe himself off or like spit and then throw a towel, like black little hand towels.
Do they go the same direction? Because that would be a bummer if you got like spit directly in the face and then you see your towel sailing the other direction.
Look, I don't know. But look, he managed to do a handful of light costume changes, mainly putting on different jackets. He had some different accessories. That was pretty fun. He didn't venture too far from center stage. He has this move where he just sort of crouches and looks at everyone. He was on point, though. I got to give him credit. He didn't miss a note. At least, I only knew maybe 4 songs total that he did. But the ones I knew, he was nailing. The band sounded really good. They started, I don't like the drugs, but the drugs like me. But then he stops the song and he says, oh, actually, I lied. I love the drugs. And then he goes on to give you an anti-drug message. I don't know if that's he's turning over a new leaf or
He's been sober for
I know he's been sober
3 years now or so.
I don't know if that's his way of saying don't offer me drugs. I don't know.
Did you throw a bag of Coke on the stage?
I wouldn't give that to him.
You gotta test these people sometimes.
Were you able to count and verify if he had one rib missing?
I was just barely not close enough.
Damn, dude.
But the way he was crouching and like moving around, it's possible.
Okay.
It's certainly possible. But, all in all, it was a fun night out. I'm not saying I would want to rush back and see him again, but, if anyone is a Manson fan, I think he's on his game right now, for sure. So, and the set list, everyone seemed to be pretty happy with that. I was talking to some guys after the show, and everybody seemed pretty pleased. So, I got nothing really bad to say. And I got like an amazing parking spot, which never happens. It was like all in all, pretty good night.
Highlight of the show, dude.
Honestly, yes. Being able to get out and just go, wonderful. So that was my first show. Any other questions about Manson before I move on?
No.
Okay. Nah, never really been my thing, but yeah. I know some people love him, so
Yeah, for sure. And I had a friend there who has been a Manson fan forever, and he verified he was great. He was on it.
I think I've seen him like 5 times. And like the last 3, he was just opening for. He opened for Slipknot. I think the best I ever seen him was when he opened for Alice Cooper.
If you're opening for Alice Cooper, someone who clearly influenced you, you're gonna do it. You're gonna go all the way, right?
So I think he was being a little more behaved.
You're gonna be on your game. I did find it interesting that we talked last time. Deftones is now playing arena shows, and Manson is now back to clubs. I did find that to be interesting.
He's had some lawsuits and
some things. Yeah. But okay, the next thing I did, and this is not metal, but it's kind of metal.
It is metal.
Yeah,
I went up to the Rialto Theater in Joliet. It's an amazing old theater. I don't know if anyone has seen that theater, but it's gorgeous. And I saw Evil Dead with an orchestra. So it's the original Evil Dead movie with an orchestra on the stage playing the score. But it's not just the original score. It is a newly written score by the original composer, Joe LaDuca.
Oh, nice.
And I have to admit, well, first of all, before the thing starts, the musicians come out and they say, "Hey, we just want to let you know, this is not a thing where we need you to be quiet and respectful. We would be totally happy if you yelled and screamed and had a fun time. So when anything happens in the movie that you love, when something crazy is going on, feel free to shout it out. Let's have a good time." And I love that they set that precedent, because then it immediately made the energy in the room a lot more fun. People were getting drunk as hell. And, people yelling at Ash and Scotty and everybody else. It was really fun. There were moments where I'm going to get a little nerdy, but where I missed some of the original things from the score. One thing in particular, when the trap door opens the very first time, they're all eating dinner, and the trap door opens to the cellar, and there's this amazing cue there that's like this synth sort of organy classic horror thing, and it's my favorite moment in the score, and it just isn't present anymore whatsoever. But what they've done is that they've replaced the score completely with all like violin and bass and very real string instruments. And I think in a way they're tapping into the Evil Dead vibe even more. Because when I think Evil Dead, I do think real. I do think practical effects. I think gritty. I think homemade. So like a violin, those kind of stringed instruments, no synth whatsoever. It's all, and there's quite a bit of percussion as well. But it just felt more natural. It felt more, what's the word I want? Like earthy, which I think if you've seen the Evil Dead movies, particularly the first one, that's the right tone. That's the right way to go. And it adds to the eeriness a little bit. There were moments, particularly, and I have to say this too, like the last 15, 20 minutes of that movie, it's Raimi. It seems like Raimi goes, oh shit, I have to end the movie. I have to make it interesting. I'm going to do a bunch of weird shit. I'm going to do a bunch of experimental things that I've always wanted to try with the camera. He comes out of the cellar and the clock is going, and the camera's flying down the hallway, and there's the cellar or the ceiling beams and everything, and it's like making weird noises, and all that stuff really adds up when you change the score to be this sort of otherworldly, sustained string thing. It was really interesting, and so a lot of the sound effects were drowned out, and so in the end, when it's mainly like screaming and like gurgling and hacking noises for the last 10 minutes, a lot of that's covered up, and it became this weird, like surreal, demonic experience that I really am having trouble explaining, but it was like, I was like, this is fucking art. So yeah, if it's still touring, I don't know if by the time this is out, people will have the chance. They were filming stuff, so I don't know if it'll be available somehow. I would love a home release with this score. That is the ideal. I hope we get there, because this score is it deserves to be heard with the movie. It was really cool. So yeah, love that.
That's what I was gonna wonder is like, I know it's not that's definitely a movie that they're not afraid of multiple releases throughout the years. No. So it's kind of like, if you're going to have a whole new score, like, let's get it on a piece of physical media so everybody can hear it in the context, Yeah,
it seems like a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. That is tough to, like, it's awesome that the guy who did the original music, like, did this new score, but it's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure back in the day they had to do synth because that's all the budget would allow,
That's the reason. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But then you've got all these people that have grown up with a sound on it, so it's hard to, even if like this is more in line with his original vision, everybody has existed with, what he considers a compromise, but everybody loves now,
Yeah, it's a weird spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, as you say, I think a home release would be, and just make that an option. You got different audio tracks, but the main feature, like, look, there's a jillion featurettes that they keep passing down through these different versions. I've seen them all. I've heard the commentary so many times. Let's get this new audio. Let's get this new music track on there. I think it would be. Look, you can have my $30 to $45. I don't care. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've already bought it 12 times now. What's one more version of The Evil Dead?
I literally have it right here. Just one of the many versions. There it is. That insane box set. Didn't need it.
But you got it.
Had to have it. Had to have it. But anyway, that was a wonderful thing. And you know what? Just to tack a little thing on. Afterwards, we got a bottle of wine, went back to the hotel room, and watched Scream in the hotel room.
Nice.
And it was like such a great night. It was wonderful. Yeah. My wife fell asleep with a little cup of wine in her hand on the bed, and then dumped it all over her fucking self. Amazing.
You didn't get an extra charge from the hotel room?
Oh, I rinsed that shit off fast. If you get some hot water on it fast, I found out, gone. Undetectable. Little tip.
There you go. You get extra charges.
Hell no, I'm not doing that. Give me that $50 back.
Well, DK, I'm glad you had the time of your life at Marilyn Manson and the Evil Dead. It did come through where I was. Now I wish I would have went, but I thought it was like on a Wednesday or something.
I think it was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
At the
Gazolo. Yeah, it might have been.
Anyway, it was around that time, or anyway, yeah. I think you've missed it.
I have.
Oh, DK, you might have forgot to include it, but how was the parking at the Evil Dead show?
I'll tell you what, Joliet has downtown figured the fuck out.
All right.
There are multiple parking garages that are free use for the city, and there's also street parking. out the ass. It's wonderful. I've been there a few times because they have a great venue, the Forge in Joliet. I would recommend if you can see any shows there, go there too. But man, yeah, parking, 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Is it Joliet or Joliet?
I hear and I say both.
Okay.
And I don't know which one's
You're
correct.
making me feel like I
think it's Joliet.
I've been saying it wrong.
I want to say Joliet because I remember somebody making fun of him and being like, "Oh, like Romeo and," but then I don't know.
Romeo and Jolly.
Romeo and Jolly.
Hey, welcome in to DK and Dan Like Bands. We got our special guest here, Kron Howard from the 5 Day Rentals podcast. And, normally we would tickle your taint up front with the top three for me, but Kron Howard has requested such a big discography from a legendary band known as the Melvins.
Just Melvins.
Just Melvins. To some, the Melvins for others. So we gave you news recommendations, all that other shit up front. But here it is. The Big Enchilada, the Mighty Chalupa, the Melvins. Kron Howard, why? Why did you choose Melvins?
Okay. So I was thinking about this earlier today. I was like, I have to have some reason to justify why I would pick this band. And I think I came up with three things. I'll run through these quick. All right, number one, first album is what, like 88, 87? I don't know of too many other bands that are 40 years into their career where, like, I as a listener, me as a fan, I am still excited when new music from this band comes out. Like, I know that the Rolling Stones could sell out a stadium in 2015, but I don't know of too many people that were like, I can't wait for the fucking new shit to drop from them. Like, so I feel like they're a band that is still, like, I would honestly not say they're at the peak, but they are still putting out stuff where I'm like, fuck, this is interesting. Like, I dig this. And they're 40 years in at this point, you know? Reason number two, I think people that are big fans of this band, like, if I went to a show, I would not expect or want to hear any song from their discography. Like, if I came out and they had 3 synthesizers set up, I would be like, this is going to be fucking weird. Like, I'm down. Let's go. And if they came out and did just the hits, like, I would be fine with that. I feel like you get these bands. I mean, you guys, you did top 3 for me, Mastodon, pretty recently. And I do feel like they have a lot of good deep cuts, but, like, how many times have you seen them, Dan?
I think twice.
Did they play Blood and Thunder both times?
Yes.
So, see, I feel like you get to a certain level and it's like, all right, you better give us what we want. And I feel like all throughout their career, Melvins have been just enough under the radar where it's like, I don't really give a shit what they want to play live. Like, I'm going to be down for it no matter what happens. And they really never had like a true crossover hit that really hit the mainstream, so they can kind of just do whatever they please. And I think their fan base, by and large, is down for it. And number 3, like, this is the last one. Truly, if people listened to this show and they were like, let me check something out, if they walked away saying, I hate this band, I would be fine with that. But they've had such a long career, and I really feel like they've never chased a sound, right? They've never been like, what's big right now? Let's do our version of, hardcore music. It's just kind of like, they're always going to put out whatever they think is interesting. And if an audience connects with it, that's great. But if not, oh well, like, they'll just move on to another album 10 months down the road and, you know, they'll give it another whirl. But I do feel like I respect them in the sense that they are never trying to fit into a mold of what music is hot at the time. You know, they're always going to make a Melvins album, and maybe you like it, maybe you don't, you know. So I think those three things are kind of what I would say this band like deserves to be talked about for.
All right. That makes sense. I feel, I kind of agree with you. I think started in 83, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, that might have been like the Mangled Demos stuff was from way back then.
But I feel like the sound that they were doing kind of found them at that point in time, which would be 90s, and then kind of passed them on, and they're still doing whatever the fuck they want to do. So,
Yeah, I would agree. Like, it seems like, I think what you're saying is you can listen to one of their modern records and you can listen to one from the 90s, and it's hard to tell what's from where.
I mean, and I feel like they kind of came to some fame, like as much fame as they ever had when like the grunge scene was really blowing up. And I feel like they got lumped into that because they were like a Seattle band at the time, you know, but like I wouldn't really call Melvins grunge. And I feel like they kind of in some ways kicked off like sludge and doom music with some of the like with these really slow kind of paced songs, but I don't know if I would really like, I would not call them a doom band, you know. They've kind of dabbled in stuff here and there, but it's like, I don't know if you can just drop a label, like a single label, and say this band is this genre, you know.
Yeah, I found that to be tough because some songs, you go, this is maybe a little sludgy, a little doomy, just a little straight metal, but it's never really only ever one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they'll just do something else.
DK, where were Melvins in your life? Was this the first time, or have you had any history with them?
I know that I've heard a couple tracks like at some point, but it wasn't ever anything that grabbed me. So I guess it's fair to say that these were all pretty much first-time listens. I couldn't even tell you what tracks I heard before. So I'm going to say that this was, first-time listens for all of them. So my opinions are going to be unrefined and honestly, probably unfairly, based on only having listened to the entire discography, some of it only one time. Some of it more than once. The stuff where I was trying to narrow it down right away. But some stuff I might have, passed over right away, and maybe unfairly or wrongly, but didn't go back to. But there's just a sheer amount of stuff there. I can confirm that I listened to everything that was available. So there's at least that. But, we had, even the amount of time we had was not enough. Like, not even close. Melvins is a band where you literally need years.
That was going to be fact that I was going to say, yeah, we could have spent 6 months with this, and I probably still wouldn't feel super, super confident that I could wrap them into be an expert on them, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like there's just so much there. Kron, what about you? When did Melvin come into your life?
I mean, probably whenever I did get pretty into like doom music, because one of the bands I really enjoyed was the Japanese band Boris. And once you look at them at all, like just what is this band? Where are they from? give me some information about them. Like one of the first bullet points is Boris took their name from the Melvins album Bullhead. It's like the first song on that album. So that was really, I was like, well, shit, I got to go check out this band. Like if the band that I really like is, you know, in any way paying homage to this band, it's got to be good. So I just started digging, you know, and I honestly, like, I love finding a band that I like, and it's like, how many albums do they have? They have 30 albums. Like I could, you know, I can drop in and out of this thing and just, it'll go forever, you know, like I can find stuff I like, come back to it, check out albums from all different decades. So yeah, that's probably when I really started getting into them. I mean, I don't know, you know, like 5-6 years ago, and I've just kind of steadily chipped away at the catalog. I mean, even I had probably 2 or 3 albums that were like true first time listens while we did this. So when you got 30 plus albums, you know, you can ignore some, because there are some that I've listened to, you know, 50 times now, like just by themselves, because I really like them. But yeah, man, it's a ton of material.
Did you have a Melvins spirit guide? Like, was someone telling you where to start with Melvins and, you know, all that stuff? Or was this something you did on your own?
No, I mean, I probably started with that Bullhead album just because that was the Boris connection. But no, I probably just started moving through it, you know, however I saw fit. So I kind of jumped around. Like I said, they're still releasing new stuff. So when a new album would come out, I would definitely, you know, check out what was new. But then I probably just overall enjoy the older part of the catalog better, probably up through right after the Atlantic years. And I feel like that's like a huge thing. Like they did have 3 albums that came out on Atlantic, so those are pretty easy entry points, I think, of just they sound probably the best out of anything they've done, just because they had real budget kind of pushing them. So yeah, I probably started with like Bullhead and then moved on to like the 3 Atlantic albums. But after that, it's just been what's got a cool cover, what, you know, it's just been kind of shot in the dark. So
You seen them live?
I have seen them live. I think 2 or 3 years ago they came through where I am. It was Melvins and Boris, so it was like, this is a dream show. You know, I've wanted to see. Go. Yeah, I want to see both these bands. So, and on that tour, it was like an anniversary for both of those bands. They had an album that was either hitting like 10 or 20 years or something. You know, so. Boris played Heavy Rocks Orange in its entirety, and Melvins played Bullhead in its entirety, and then they added like 2 or 3 extra songs at the end of it. So
that sounds like a wonderful treat for you.
Yeah, that was one of the best shows I've been. That was one of the loudest shows I've ever been to. So it was not a tiny venue, but not a huge venue by any means. And it was, you know, if I didn't have earplugs in, I would have been hurting at the end of the night. So
they're a must at our age.
Yeah.
Thank you to Organic Ears for the sponsorship for DK and Dan Like Bands. If you want to hear your favorite concerts the way they should be, Organic Ears.
Send me some.
Type in the code DKD for 10% off.
I got like the little cone one, like 3 cones stacked up.
Yeah, I got little nice ones that go in. I got a little case.
I'd love to get like a custom mold thing, but it's expensive.
They are a touring band, Melvin.
Oh man, they tour not nonstop, but I would say half the year they're touring, and then half the year they're writing a new album.
Sometimes it seems like more than one record a year. What's up with that? They're so prolific.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was even reading just in doing like research, I would kind of look up the albums as I came to them while we were doing this, and I know it was one of those ones that they did with Jello Biafra, but it's like Jello Biafra wouldn't get to the studio until like 2 p.m, but Dale and Buzz, they are kind of like workaholic type dudes, but they would be like, well, we have the studio at 9 a.m, and they wrote a majority of the other collaboration stuff they did with that Lustmord guy. Mm-hmm. But they like wrote a ton of that in the studio time waiting for Jello Biafra to show up. So
Pigs
I
of the
listened to
Roman
those.
Empire.
Yeah. I listened to those. It's the Dead Kennedys guy, right?
yeah.
That's why I texted you Scruff McGruff.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody seemed to be sure what I meant at that time.
Oh, so you guys are texting each other, huh?
No, that was in our Discord
Whatever.
message.
It's a Discord. It was a message received via text, was it not, Dan?
Oh, it was a Discord. I thought you were personally
Relax.
texting him about Melvin stuff, and we were contract broke.
No.
But I do
right.
feel, I feel like they do that a lot, where it's just kind of like, do we have 6 extra hours in the day? We can figure out a song in that amount of time.
Yep.
So they just work, man. They're in a position where all they have to do is make music for a living, but they work nonstop at it, you know?
It needs to be an obsession. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting paid to do it, right? If I got paid to do this, we'd do this every day, DK. We have a radio show.
I'd be on time, even.
Nah, fuck time,
If
dude.
you can believe it. I like that. Fuck time.
Fuck time, bro. Hey, Melvin's for me would come through all the time. Revolver, fucking, just Houdini shit all the time, and I'd be like, man, that was a badass song, and I think I'd look him up and be like, God damn, like that is gonna take me some time, and I think it's a little scary. So I was like, and so this was a perfect push to finally get into it and dig into it. And thank you, Kron.
Hey, you got it, buddy. I hope you found something you liked. I mean, I do feel like they do a lot of different sounds, so, you know, you can kind of, whatever floats your boat, you know?
Yeah. Melvins was formed in 1983 in Montesano, Washington State. Started as a punk band, evolved into sludge rock, doom. Like I said, we all sorts of little genres you could push them into. Named after a terrible manager at a thrift store that Buzz Osborne worked at. I've heard thrift, I've heard grocery, so I don't know. But a guy named Melvin was just a shitty boss, which is great. Had a major label run starting in the 1990s. Of course, Kurt Cobain had a lot to do with that. That was he was a fan of them as well. That relationship kind of soured as the time went on. Mostly independent these days. The touring band, as we talked about, new material released this year, last year as well. Epica Records, Mike Patton from Faith No More fame, definitely taking care of Buzz and the boys over there. Highly influential on so many bands today with all their diverse sounds of sludge and heavy buzz. You can hear a lot of other bands out there that are buzzing away with the sounds of the Melvins. But that's kind of a short history.
A bunch of their stuff now does come out on Ipecac Records, but I also, I think they have non-exclusive deals because they also, the guy, his name's Thomas Hazelmeyer, but he runs Amphetamine Reptile Records. And it's like almost every time that a Melvins album comes out, let's say on Ipecac, they'll do a really, really limited run through Amphetamine Reptile that is like for like hardcore Melvins fans. So, but it seems like almost all of their catalog at some point, like, you know, you could have 2-3 labels all releasing the same material. So,
yeah, just kind of another way that capitalism ruined the art of music, right?
I mean, it's like Amphetamine Reptile is not a big, like, it's one guy, you know? So
it just sucks whenever I'm like, okay, this is next. It's not here, but it's like streaming.
mm-hmm.
And I got to go to here to get it. And even Kron was good enough to send us some of the stuff that wasn't available everywhere else. So
yeah, it does. It makes tracking down stuff a little harder, but I mean, I do think finding some of that stuff that's not available is like, I mean, honestly, some of their best material. So, you know.
DK, tell me about your top 3 for me journey, please.
You want me to get started? You want to go?
I want you to tell me about the journey, and then I want you to give me your number 3.
Okay. Well, I've been wondering how I would start this. When I first started listening to them, I wasn't sure how to feel. Just right out of the box, I wasn't exactly into it, I will admit. I was hearing a lot of Black Sabbath sort of in those early albums. Maybe because I still, you know, I have recently listened to all that Black Sabbath, but it did seem to be an influence anyway. I don't think that continues so much, but sort of. Anyway, then it hits a point where I start to hear like, oh, that kind of reminds me of Primus. Oh, that kind of reminds me of Tool. Oh, that's an interesting, okay. And they start to seem to hone in on something. But then, in a way, they do frustrate me a little bit. Because they do hit some extremely highs in some of these tracks. And they'll do something I really like, but then like I'm looking for that in other albums and songs and I'm not finding it. So that made my top 3 not more difficult. Honestly, it might have helped because the standouts really stand out to me. I'm just gonna come out and say like I don't think I'm a big Melvins guy yet. This is something that could grow. But as of right now, I think because let's just be honest, we didn't have enough time to like really let the thing breathe, you know? So I think probably the best way forward is for me to put together like a playlist and really have those songs that I like to start with and see how I really feel. But, you know, these are all my first time thoughts. So anyway, so not to shit on the Melvins. I'm not doing that. I mean, in no way. They're working their asses off and they're doing some cool shit. I can't deny it. They're doing some things that were definitely interesting to me. So that being said, I'm going to give you my number 3. And I don't think this is going to be on anybody else's list, but I liked what they were doing here. And it's from Bad Moon Rising in 2022. The track is It Won't or It Might. Now, I don't know, Dan, you probably don't remember the track. I would be surprised if you did. But it starts with the most generic metal riff of all time. I mean, whatever. It could be anybody. But then this track turns into like it's an extended song and it turns into like reverby guitar, more vibey stuff. And he's really doing a lot more singing on this. It reminds me of the Beatles. Like it almost goes into Hey Jude territory. And that's complimentary. Not that I'm a big Beatles guy, but there is. So actually, we talked about Typo Negative earlier. they often, Type O will often steal Beatles stuff, slow it down, make it goth or whatever, but then still have this vibey, slow thing, Beatle-y thing going on. And it really works. And this track is very much the same thing. I think it sounds like fucked up Beatles. It's a really neat track. I think it really stands out. There are some similar things, through their discography, but this one is like, it's really well produced, and it is just like, it's a singular vision of like this weird trip that you go on. And then the whole thing just sort of fades away, and it sort of devolves into like a drum solo that sort of reverbs itself out of existence. And that is something to talk about too. Like at some point they have two drummers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still happening?
At multiple points in time, they have two drummers.
Is that happening in 2022?
I know it's Tarantula Heart. They brought it back in.
Yeah, I don't think on Bad Mood Rising they did.
Okay.
Tarantula Heart does. The Big Business albums, that lineup has two drummers. And then from what I've heard, the album they're recording at the end of this year is back to two drummers.
It's interesting, and that's an interesting thing they do, where sometimes on those, and I did also, like you, look at the wiki when I'm listening along, and on the ones where it's two drummers, you sometimes might not even notice.
Mm-hmm.
But then they'll throw in little things that are, if you are paying attention, you'll go, oh shit, you couldn't do that with just one.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff, but obviously not this track, but it won't, or it might. It gets a thumbs up from me. I enjoyed it.
That's a smiley face for me on that track.
Hell yeah.
I liked it.
Beautiful.
But I do remember the drum solo. Yes, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, I know Dale Crover is not doing like blast beats. You know what I mean? But I do think for what Melvins do, I think he's one of the best drummers out there. Like, truthfully, I think it's not like fast, really super technical stuff, but it fits the style of music that they're doing in such a unique way that, I don't know, I couldn't imagine like him not being there,
Sure. And there's some really standout drum stuff all through their discography. Like you say, it's not technical, but I'm perfectly capable of listening to stuff that's not technical and still being blown away by good or intuitive, well-written drums. So like I don't need blast beats. I mean, in fact, I get pretty bored if it's just blast beats all night. I'm asleep. It's not interesting. Cool, you can go fast, bro.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do something like that, try to impress me. Like, it needs to be technical and lots of counting and crazy shit. Mm-hmm. But you also need to know when to let it vibe and let it groove. And I think certainly Melvins can groove.
Well, thank you, DK, for starting this off. Top 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Good track. Kron, do you remember that one?
I don't remember it specifically. I mean, this is going to happen, right? This band has...
He calls him... He's a Melvins guy. Look at this.
I mean, I've definitely... So out of the last 3, I would say Bad Mood Rising is like the one I've listened to the least. I've definitely listened to Thunderball and Tarantula Heart more. But Bad Mood is like... I mean, it's a solid... To me, it's like almost just a heavy rock album. And I do enjoy it. It's just... I think I like the other 2 more than that one.
I think I called it Bad Moon Rising. I apologize. It is Bad Mood Rising. Wordplay. They do a lot of wordplay. I enjoy that. They have some silly moments across those albums.
Oh, they have a lot of
yeah,
just bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Great title work here. All right, guys. I'm happy that I could have an opinion about Melvin's music now if I do talk to some weirdo that I see besides Kron. Yeah, go back to DK. There's so many influences here. I hear Helmet. I hear Clutch. I hear Primus. I hear Queens of the Stone Age. so many representations of doom, sludge, and downright silly country shit at times. When you first start out, you think, I've already heard this. I think as I went on, I found like little snippets that were like, man, that's really badass, or oh, that change was pretty cool. This is a band that has balls, man. Fucking big balls. And I think that's great. I think they record what they want to record. They write what they want to write. Usually during this process, I'm a guy that will read the lyrics as we go through each album and song and all that. I got thrown out the fucking window by the time I think I hit Bullhead or Lysol because I don't know. Some of that stuff is maybe that was the last thing they do when composing a song, I believe. I'm very jealous of Melvin's fans. They get something every year. So you know something's coming. You might as well put that $35 to $40 away so you can get that record. Can I get a chorus? Can I just have a chorus for just a little bit? I don't need it in everything, but I feel like if we had some choruses would be just lift it up a little bit. But that's kind of my only con. But gentlemen, yes, I only got pissed off twice during this. Stag is a terrible record. That was a wall for me. It took me days to get through that record. I don't know why, but for some reason, I did not like it. And the latter part of that album is horrid. Ugh, I was so mad by the time of that.
I feel like they were kind of done with Atlantic at that point, and I'm not saying they, torpedoed it, but I feel like they might have thrown some B-sides from the last few years onto the end of Stag.
Whew. That was one point. I think at another point it was really, let's just get this over with. But then I think once I hit the trilogy, I started to really have a good time and maybe get it, I guess. Because like I said, it took me a long time to find an actual track that I was like, all right, that is in consideration for this top three for me, which I was kind of worried about that at first. But like I said, we got a huge discography here and it takes time. So with that said, number three for me, we're going to go to 2001 on Hostile Ambient Takeover, Little Judas Changa. Oh, man. Classic playful start that we get here from Melvins. It's what they're famous for. During this process, if you do this, you will find out that you're like, oh, I can knock these out. These are 2-minute and 30-second songs. But then you hit like a 19-minute song or an 8-minute song back to a 1-minute and 30-second song. So it varies throughout the albums. But I think this is very, like, if you've never heard a Melvin song before, this would kind of be one I think I would play for that person to be like, all right, this is what you're kind of in the mood for. We do get a chorus here, kind of center sold me, right, left, right. So you kind of get that throughout the song, which I think is nice. Simple, but kind of a chorus. Short, sweet, badass. Like I said, I feel like this is a classic blueprint, and it kicks ass, man. I really enjoyed this song.
Hell yeah. I love the Hostile Ambient Takeover album. I think it's pretty solid, and like that was another series of like 7-inch records that they did. So the entire album is like a collection of the A-sides, and then all the B-sides were covers. I have the record of it's called Hostile Ambient B-sides or Besides. But it's like if you like Hostile Ambient Takeover, it's worth it to listen to that as well, just because it's like all the other half of the 7 inches.
Hell yeah. I'll check that out. Kron Howard, it is time.
Do it.
All right, guys. So when I first threw this out, I had a top 3 already in mind. I will say, as I went through this process, only one of those songs survived. So
Damn.
I did replace 2. My number 3, we're kind of going back to more current stuff. Off of Tarantula Heart from 2024, I have the opener, Pain Equals Funny. This is a 19-minute long song. It's almost half of the running time of the record. But the reason why I picked this, and I do want to point out, personnel on this, Buzz Osborne, Dale Crover, that's guitar, vocals, drums. Ray Mayorga on drums as well. So this is another double drummer album. And then Steve Shane McDonald on bass. That's who I saw live with the Melvins. The reason I picked this track, so it is a long one, but this is almost where I would land if I was just going to say, hey, if you want to know what the Melvins are about, listen to this track, because I feel like over that 19 minutes, you get a little taste of like everything that they can do. It's like the first 5 minutes are almost just a classic Melvins heavier rock song. After that 5 minutes is done, it all kind of dies out to this very noisy section. You get this like really hard, compressed, crushed drum sound that comes in. There's all these little like weird background noises. Then around 9 minutes, everything dies out and it gets really just atmospheric, very weird upright bass stuff is kind of happening in there. And then around 13 minutes, you probably get into the punchiest part of this, which is like fast but still dark. And then it just kind of rides that out until the end of the song. But I do feel like it's a good example of like, can you find a sound in here that you like? Because if you can, there is a whole album that exists in their discography that you might be into. So, like, if I truly had to just, like, if I had the terrible task of, like, ranking every single one of their songs, I don't know if this would actually be number 3, but it is a very good example of just, like, here's every single sound over a 40-year span of time of what this band can do. And if you dig it, you know, you can explore further in any one of these directions. But, yeah, man, it just kind of captures the whole thing in one, and I get it, it's long, but in one 19-minute shot, you get a little taste of everything they're capable of. So had to put Pain Equals Funny as number 3, top 3 for me.
I think that all of that makes complete sense. That's a good call.
It's a good track. It makes the new stuff interesting, like you said. When something comes out, I'm gonna listen. All right, Melvins have a new record. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, man. I mean, even like when this album got announced, I think it was actually track 2 that was like the single they put out before. But when they put that out, you know, you can go on Bandcamp and see the track listing and the titles, at least. They're grayed out, but you can see them. And I was like, 19 minutes and 8-second opener. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm getting into, but I'm excited for this album to drop.
I think that's me on number 2. As always. All right. Well, listen. This one's tough for me because I really think this... I have a reasoning here, okay? So shut up. I think really this might be my favorite Melvins track, but for a reason that will be revealed, I think it needs to go to number 2. So this is from Crybaby, and it's Divorced.
Oh man, I love this track.
It is, I mean, just right off the bat, it sounds like Tool. It sounds like early Tool. But hang on, let me get through this. I got a lot here. It starts with some ambience, some weird breathing, and then the drums kind of stumble into the room, and then the bass joins in. And it's interesting because at that point, like, the drums feel sort of random at first, but then the bass joins and it immediately becomes a groove. And it starts to sound like Tool, like right off the bat. Even some weird, I don't know if anybody here likes Porcupine Tree, but some strange eras of Porcupine Tree. When the vocals come in and it's like a whisper sing, it sounds a lot like what Steven Wilson would be doing around this time. Maybe a little earlier, but yeah, it's interesting to me. And then at a certain point, there's just wordless screams. And then there's this double bass rhythm that comes in and it's like really kind of trippy. And that's where, like, for me, that's when it really starts cooking, right? And then it sounds like some Enema era Tool. It's really interesting. And it has this amazing, just like crescendo at the end. Now, I had this on my top. I had this song on my number 1 from the first time I heard it, and it was weeks ago at this point. I found out today that literally Tool is involved in this track and on this track. I didn't realize that. I even saw Billy Howardell, Mr. Perfect Circle himself, and Ashes Divide. And so this song is like literally Tool and Melvins. While I think this is my favorite Melvins song, I can't put it at number 1 because it is half Tool. And it's an amazing place to start, but like I don't think it's representative necessarily of exactly what Melvins are giving to you all the time. And not that all these songs are going to be, and that's not what we're doing here, but I just felt that, me personally, it's kind of a cop-out if I say, hey, my favorite Melvin song is kind of actually a Tool song. So you will find it on a Melvins album, but yeah, it's so much of it is Tool that I at least had to put it at number 2 just for that reason, even though it might be, I mean, I think it clearly is my favorite track of theirs. So Divorced, Crybaby, what a cool song.
Well, and truthfully, like, probably the engineer that Melvins have worked with the most is, what's his name? Toshi Kasai. But he's done Tool albums, you know, so there is like some overlap between those two bands, you know?
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I also hear a lot of Primus, like in these earlier Melvins things too. And I thought for a while maybe they were going to develop a sound more closer to that, but they don't ever really, they kind of throw that away. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I was kind of thinking, oh, do people love them because they turn into a weird like Primus thing? It's like, is that what I'm in for? And I think you could compare them in attitude and in some ways style, but it's not a sound-alike situation in any way. Not anymore. I mean, at a certain point maybe, but no. So
I think during this process, I was like, man, I would really love to see these guys be like a Santana, like
smooth.
Well, they're smooth, they're rough, they're tough, they're the Melvins. No, but just like Melvins featuring Maynard, like do an album, or Melvins featuring Mike Patton. Like, I think that would be fucking badass.
They seem like a band that would do that. I
Yeah.
mean, they clearly did that with Dead Kennedy's guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have that Colossus of Destiny album that
Yeah.
it's like they will give you, hey, here's a collaboration between us and one of the members of Tool, and it won't be what you want. It's like, you'll hate it, but we did it.
I appreciate that. I actually appreciate that.
All right, guys, we're moving into number 2. Oh, it takes so long, but it's so quick to get to these things. Jeez, is it worth it? We're going to 2006. We're going to a senile animal. We're going The Mechanical Bride. That is my number 2. We got this buzzy ass intro with these splashy ass cymbals, which you get a lot. I really appreciate these drawn out lyrics here. Like the way that he is singing this song is what I want. I think I prefer a little bit of darkness with Melvins for me. Like it sounds a little evil almost, the way that we're doing this. I think lyrically it's a little darker. I wish we would have more of that, like throughout this process. But we got lyrics here like they listen to the world, they live upon the earth. Just the way he drones that out through the whole song, he kind of just stretches it. It seems like, but we got some great fucking riffs here, and it just it gets me every time I hear this track. The Mechanical Bride, check it out. That's my number 2.
Very solid pick. As I was going through this, the long list of stuff I considered, this was definitely on it. So, Senile Animal, I think a really, really good album. Their first album with the Big Business lineup. If you ever, I don't know, just look up any video of them from that era. And it's so cool because they have the 2 drums going, but it's like Dale is right-handed, and then I think Cody Wellis, or however you say his name, is a left-handed. So when you see those 2 guys play together, it all has this weird symmetry when they're drumming, because it looks like just like one guy's doing it with one hand and the other guy's doing the other one, and it just all looks very cool together. So yeah, man, I love this album, love this pick, love both these number 2 picks, to be honest. So
classic Dutch rudder. Kron Howard.
All right, guys, I think this all works. I think these number 2 picks that we made are more of a darker, weirder kind of sound that the Melvins dabble in. And I'm right there with you guys, because my number 2 pick is A Really Long Wait from the EP The Bulls and the Bees from 2012. This also features, I guess technically, the Big Business lineup. There are almost no drums on this song at all. But it does... I felt like I could have picked something off of Honky, which is an album that I actually love that I feel like most people hate. I could have picked something off Freak Puke that's all upright bass and that kind of thing. But to me, this is one of their darker songs. It kind of has the most ambient stuff going on. And to me, it sounds the most cinematic out of anything they've ever done. The whole song is kind of droney with these weird guitars happening. It almost feels like if you graphed out a really, really slow sine wave, it kind of builds and then it dies and it builds back up. I don't know, man. It's not like a song I think a lot of people would pick for this, but I absolutely love it. Let's see. I think I got... So the entire lyrics of this song, this is it. It is, "The place where I sleep is cold and abandoned. you can't even fathom a hole dug so deep. And it just, like, that will kind of come in like another instrument, and it'll just kind of slot into the song here and there and die out and then go into a music section and come back. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's weird to call this the most cinematic because they've covered a song from The Shining on one of their records.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. And they, that album Love and Death, like half of that is a soundtrack to a short film that they made. But to me, I could see this in like, you know, a very dramatic scene of a movie, or honestly something even kind of sad. Like it's kind of a very somber sound for the Melvins, which I don't think they do a ton. So for me, I wanted to pick something kind of dark, kind of slow, kind of interesting, something that grows and, you know, has a lot of different sound in it. So this is the one I went with, A Really Long Wait. Did you guys even did you get into the EPs, I guess?
I
listened to everything. I listened to literally everything.
All right.
Everything you shared and everything that was on Spotify. So, yeah, as much as I could. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it.
We like to throw little jokes in there that these are turds and, you know, well, we listen to it all.
I mean, it's a 40-year career. They got some turds floating around.
I would say there are some that I really didn't like, yes, but that, you know, they, like you said, 40-year career. There's some nuggets in there.
Yeah.
Nugs.
I had a note that these longer songs are kind of like an animal that gets hit by a car, but it's not dead. It just gets back up and start running, because that's some of these tracks, man. You think they're like, all right, they're fucking closing it out, and starts back up again, and you're like, what the fuck? You look at your thing, and you're like, 9 minutes left. Like, So, yeah, good pick, Kron.
Well, I was just going to say that lyric didn't really hit me, but when you read it, like, those are really cool fucking lyrics.
Yeah. It's very, like, I feel like Buzz is kind of singing in this high range, and I think at least one other person in the lineup, maybe Cody, is singing with them, but it's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell who's singing on that track. But yeah, man, I went with that one because it doesn't really sound like anything else I've heard them do. It's a sound I wish they would dip back into, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think the vocals are worth mentioning. When it first starts, it is sort of this 80s. I have a really hard time with what he's doing on the earlier records with those vocals. I really do. So I always appreciate that he did sort of move away into this different style. It's still, I mean, at its core, he's still kind of giving you the same energy, but I like the control that he has now, and he definitely has evolved, and I think is better for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the joys too is for each album that I would go to, I'd be like, well, what am I getting here? Like, is this going to be silly? Is this going to be more instrumental? Is this going to be more lyric heavy? And I think it's like a gamble for each time. They should have a fucking Melvin roulette. Like,
part of me I get a little frustrated with them sometimes because they're doing some really, really neat things, like some stuff that I've really enjoyed. And then it's like, you're just not, I think I said this before, but like they're withholding that. They're not giving me that again. They're doing something else. And I can appreciate that. Not repeating yourself and doing something new and interesting to you. That's why you do it. That's why you make music. But as a listener, I often found myself challenged by the fact that sometimes they would do one amazing thing and then, I wouldn't get it again.
Yeah.
Seemed like.
I mean, it is a bummer in a way that they will sometimes touch on, like the one I just mentioned. I feel like they've never done anything like that. And I would like to hear more from them like that. But it does, like, just being a fan of them, that is what's exciting. Like, anytime they say we've got a new album, here's the pre-order, I'll pre-order it without even hearing anything because I'm just like, I don't know what version I'm getting of this band, and that is kind of fun, you know?
I can see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll get a riff that just, like with me, oh, yeah, like, give it to me. Randy Savage, that shit. And then it would just die off and go into, like, fucking circus music, and you're like,
Yeah.
bring that back, bro. Please.
I wasn't done with that.
Yes. DK,
All right, well,
it's time.
Let me give it to you. The number one.
I'm wide open.
Please. This is from 1999, the year of the millennium. It's from an album called The Maggot, and it's a song called, well, it's in, Kron, you'll have to help me with this. Why is it split up?
I don't know. That's just a thing they did on The Maggot, and it's like, I don't know why they did that.
Is it something where they're like telling the label, oh, but this is 15 songs, really, but they're...
No, because I mean, I think this was Ipecac by this point, or I think that's what the trilogy came out on. So it's not like they really had any reason to, outside of just being like, it's fucking weird. Let's do
artsy
that.
and weird. Yeah, okay, I get it. Well, yeah, I understand it. See how pretty, see how smart. This is a genre of Melvin song that they do give you a few times. There are a couple other, I would say a handful of these. But this is I think the perfected version of this, like doom sludge. Like, what do you call it? It's thunderous, this song, and it takes its time. There's this tune out vibey style build for 10 minutes, and it just, the whole thing builds up. It's like hypnotic, like machinery working. And then there's just this huge payoff of like screams at the end. I put it at number one because it is solely Melvins. And this is like, I think for me, this is the Melvins thing that I like the most. Like, if they're not going to give me, and look, it's stupid for me to be like, hey, Melvins, can you give me Tool instead? No, I'll listen to Tool. Hey, Melvins, can you give me Primus instead? No, I'll listen to Primus. This is the Melvins thing that most serves my ears, okay? And it's this fucking, I'm going to call it doom sludge. I don't know what else to call it. It is a lumbering, thundering, slow-paced, mood-setting, sort of slow rage fuck machine of a song. Okay? And like I said, they have like 5 or 6 tracks like this through their, I mean, maybe even more than that, through their discography. Another one I think I had on my list actually was Goggles from Stag.
Yep.
Ultra doomed. I mean, just what a great track. But I like the sound, and just like altogether the full package of See How Pretty, See How Smart. It's awesome. And then it just ends with sleigh bells.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They provide nothing, and yet they provide so much.
Well, the sleigh bells is how.
Oh shit! Here we go.
So they end the Maggot with sleigh bells. They start the Crybaby, the next in the trilogy, with sleigh bells.
Sleigh bells.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate you telling me that.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sleigh bells are there. Listen, that is for me. If I was going to put together a playlist of Melvin's songs, apart from the ones we've talked about, I would definitely gravitate towards these types of tracks of theirs. So that is the one for me pretty easily.
DK, is that the first song on your fuck rage playlist?
No, believe it or not, no. It's pretty far down there.
You send me an invite to that, please.
Don't tempt me. I might.
I do love the pick. I mean, the Maggot to me, like, if we had done top 3 for me, the Maggot I would feel like I left off too many good songs. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's one of those albums where I think that thing top to bottom is pretty fucking good. So
Sure. Yeah. That was one of the better listens for me.
All right, guys. Number 1 for me through this journey. Somebody's got to do it. We got to go to 1993. We got to go to Houdini. And God damn it, Hag Me is the number 1 track from the Melvins. It's 7 minutes of just a buzzing fucking assault. Welcome to the drone zone, y'all. I got my ceiling. This one blows the fucking ceiling out, dude. I grow a piston when I hear this song, dudes. We got that 5-minute and 30-second riff that is just... Oh, it just fucking buries itself into your bones, dude. And you just want to smash your fucking skull into a wall when you hear this. And you're just like, I could listen to 20 fucking minutes of that riff. It's great. It just simply fucking kicks ass. I love it. Hag Me is my number 1. Gets me every time.
it's a good ass
Close
track,
the
dude.
book.
It's a good track. I think, I mean, if we're talking Atlantic, I'm probably more Stoner Witch, but there are some highlights on Houdini that, like Hag Me, Hooch. I mean, there's good fucking tracks on there.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
All right,
Still got a
dudes.
fucking scab from banging my head on the wall.
Oh, you got a news bruise, dude?
Kron Howard, give it to us.
All right, guys, some cool synergy here. Like, I think all of our number 2 picks kind of lined up for darker Melvins. I think all of our number 1 picks line up for heavy-ass Melvin stuff.
Ham.
My number 1, we're going to 1992. This is off the album Lysol. And I pray you let me get away with this. It is technically the first 2 tracks. They are one long piece of music. And if you go to the CD, these are one track. This is one thing. But I am going with Hung Bunny and Roman Dog Bird.
Yes.
Or Roman Bird Dog, sorry. I always fuck that up. This is Buzz on guitar and vocals, Dale on drums, and Dro Preston on bass. Guys, literally, every time I hear this track, this is what really sold me on the Melvins, this album. When I think about this coming out in 1992, it boggles my mind. Like, this is possibly the slowest Melvins have ever gotten. And I think at the time, metal was pushing into like, well, you just got to play faster. You got to play faster and faster and faster and get more technical. And this is really just fuzzed out, slow as molasses can be. I love everything about these 2 tracks, man. When you guys did top 3 for me, Black Sabbath, I think DK said something like, I don't love this band, but I acknowledge like all the influence that they have had. And honestly, like I feel like Black Sabbath kind of, they set up that style of doom that is like Candlemass and St. Vitus, like that kind of thing. I don't know if you would have modern doom and sludge without the album Lysol. It is so fuzzed out and slow and just plodding along that nothing else at the time that this was released sounded like this in any way. Hung Bunny is almost this like 11-minute, no drums, just these building fuzz guitars. There's this like weird chanting thing happening in the background where the vocals are, I mean, they're honestly just like, oh, it's just drug out forever and ever and ever. And then when you finally get this like drum buildup, the very last hit of that is what starts Roman Bird Dog, and it just gets super heavy. I love everything Dale is doing here. His drums have this like insane delay reverb combo on them.
Yes.
They sound massive. And he's doing this super interesting thing where he will do these drum fills, but they're all at this super slow BPM. And then sometimes his drum fill is just blank space. And then when it comes back in, it sounds so much heavier and harder than if he had just constantly been playing through there. Like, these guys at this time perfectly understood how to make this slow sound work and how to actually give that gravity and feeling. And it's not about playing as fast as you possibly can. It's about sounding fucking cool as shit. And for like the 18-minute runtime of these two tracks, I'm just like, oh man, I could fucking live in this audio. It's so good. And then just to touch on their bass player for this one album, Joe Preston. Anytime this guy's name pops up in an album, I will listen to it. Like, he seems annoying as shit to work with because he's on so many releases that I love, and he's on exactly one of them. Like, as soon as he gets into a band, he records something and they say, you gotta fucking go, dude. Like, we can't deal with you. But just some of his credits, this guy is on, let's see, Earth Extra Capsular Extraction. I think that's one of their best things. It's an EP. He's on Blessed Black Wings from High on Fire. I think probably their strongest record. He's on Lysol. I think, honestly, probably the strongest Melvins album. And he's on Life, the Best Game in Town by Harvey Milk, one of their highlights. So I love all those bands, and Joe Preston is like a big part of this sound. But the guy does seem like trouble all around. Like, he just kind of bounces around. But yeah, man, Hung Bunny, Roman Bird Dog. I love everything about the Lysol record. Even the back half is shorter than this, but it's got 2 covers. And even those, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, this shit rocks. So
Some Alice Cooper covers.
yeah, Alice Cooper.
The old Monster Dog.
Trying to think. I can't remember if the other one is Flipper on that one, but
With teeth. Or no, Sacrifice.
yeah, Sacrifice. That's the other cover. So yeah,
Dan, are
man.
we going to allow this 2-track for one?
Yeah, man, because this was like up and down for me. I would say it's probably 4, which, yeah, I agree. It's both because I have my notes like this is one track.
I
Yeah,
was just trying to start some shit, okay? I was going to allow it, all right?
I mean, if it had been on Amazon, they would have named it, in a way that you could get away with it. And honestly, I could have picked just the album Lysol. Like, if you bought a CD, it is all one solitary track, and Melvins consider it to be like a super composition. Like, they consider that whole thing to be one piece of music.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good album.
Oh man, I fucking love that album.
Kron, do you have a top 3 albums?
I'm going to give you my top 5, just real quick.
All right.
Number 5, I would go with A Senile Animal. Out of the big business stuff, I think that's easily the best. I do like Nude with Boots quite a bit, but Senile Animal, you get these cool stacked harmonies between Cody and Buzz that really work for me. Number 4, I would go with The Maggot. Just heavy from start to finish. Love everything about that record. Number 3, I would probably go Stoner Witch. I think that's the highlight of their Atlantic run. and has some of my absolute favorite songs from Melvins. Queen is short, but so damn good. Number 2, I think this is the one that people would get heat on, but I would put number 2 as Honky. That's a weird fucking album, but I really enjoy everything. The last closing track, it's like in the freak toast, the bugs are dying. That has like a crazy guitar solo in it, and I feel like it's like Buzz is capable of doing that, but they don't really use it a lot, you know? But like, he's a very good guitar player, but I just feel like he doesn't have a lot of like solos, you know? So yeah, man, Honky would be my number 2, and number 1, it's gotta be Lysol. I think that's a 5 out of 5, like the entire runtime. So there you go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I tried today, and I don't know. I know Houdini's up there, Lysol, The Maggot, and I really like Hostile Ambient as well.
Mm-hmm.
But man, like I said, I think there's a Senile Animal is really good too. There's just, like I said, there's so much to find with all of these. And if you want to get into it, please do. DK, what do you got?
For
Give us
top
your
3?
final. Well, if you want to do it.
I had a really hard time with that. I do have a list. Let's see, Senile Animal, Stoner Witch, and Maggot. But I found more with Melvins, and I'll just give you my general thoughts once more. That I was just giving myself little gifts from individual albums here and there, and sort of collecting them, as opposed to enjoying many of the full albums. They're not something where I feel like I have to listen to the whole record. Again, like, I think I just want to collect these doom sludge, very dark, slow-paced things. But again, like the track, like Tool fans, listen to Divorced. You need to hear this song. It sounds like early Tool. It literally is early Tool. I didn't know about this track. It's really interesting. I think I could see them being on a certain type of playlist for me. I don't think I would do Melvins every day, but I would. I'm not rejecting them in any way. I don't know if I'm yet to the point where they would be in my everyday rotation, but I could certainly see there being a time when I would want these vibes, for sure. And a thing I was going to mention earlier was they have some stuff that feels like it could be like on the Crow soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like, you could almost just stick one of those. Like I've sometimes I want to make my own movie soundtracks. Have you guys ever done this?
That sounds like a show idea we should do. So
I'll be quiet. Never mind. But I if I was making my own era appropriate soundtrack, which is the key here, to The Crow, I think probably Melvins would be featured highly on that soundtrack.
I like that idea.
But yeah,
that idea.
All right.
Hell yeah,
Think about that.
I'd throw them onto the soundtrack for Gummo, dude.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're my number 1 track on Brokeback Mountain. Tie my pecker to a tree.
Hey. See, those are 3 diverse movies, and it somehow all works.
Kronhauer, did we do okay?
I think you guys did excellent. I mean, I just hope you revisit at some point. It's a deep catalog, come back, definitely take a break. I would not recommend anyone listening to this discography over a month like you guys did.
You can drown in it. Yes.
But come back 6 months from now and say, hey, I kind of like that one. Let me throw it on.
I could see doing that. I really could.
check out anything new. I'm sure there'll be 3 records released in the next 6 months.
I think one definitely within the next 6 months.
Kron Howard.
Dan,
What?
I've got something before we're out of here, just real quick.
All right.
All right, so episode 1 of DK and Dan Like Bands. That makes sense. It's just the two of you. Episode 2, featuring Bones. I thought episode 3, I'm a lock at this point. But that didn't happen. And I honestly think it all boils down to very early on, I pitched Dan, DK and Dan Like Band, your favorite Charles Band movies. And I think that's why I got bumped until now. So in that spirit, guys, I have come up with a list of special episodes you can do. And I would like to run them by you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You
All
have
right.
a pen ready.
We'll do this real fast.
I mean, I'm into Charles Band, so let's start with that.
All right. I mean, that's number 1.
Number 1.
Okay. DK and Dan Like Slam. Your favorite slam poetry albums. I think, what's his name? Edward Furlong could easily make a return on the podcast.
Hell yeah. My grandpa's my stories my grandpa would tell or some shit, whatever it's called.
Don't tell Chris that.
He's here. He's already heard it. He's heard it.
All right, next one. We've got DK and Dan in the back of a van. Your top albums to get stoned to.
All right. I like that.
I could do that.
All right, these next like 3 have a food theme, so just go with that. DK and Dan Like Ham. Your top 5 pro-police bootlicking anthems. Or if you don't like that, you can do DK and Dan Like Spam, your top 5 ukulele Hawaiian tracks.
Nice.
Fuck.
Here's the next one. DK and Dan Like Clam, your top 5 songs to perform cunnilingus to. Dan, that's going to be tough for you because you're going to have to do it 4 more times. All right. I've only got 2 left. These are the best 2. I was proud of these 2. DK is Dan's number 1 fan. This has a long form option. You adapt Misery as an audio play and record it. It also has a short form option. DK hobbles Dan.
Maybe for Halloween.
If it's for the show, I guess.
And my number 1 special, I think you guys should actually do this one. DK and Dan Like Jam. You can only listen to the Grateful Dead until you consume 5 full-size jars of jelly. 1 jar representing each member of the band.
Fuck you.
Oof. We'd have to have you as a guest on that one.
Oh.
And there you guys go. There
Lord.
are some special eps. You can do them or not. You know, I wanted to come here with a gift. So there you go.
Well, thank you, Kron.
It's wonderful.
You name which one you want to guest on.
Oh, I would love to watch DK hobble you.
I figured that was the one.
I'll make you some soup first.
Mm-hmm.
Tend to your wounds.
Jesus. You don't even do this on our other show. You don't come up with anything.
Yeah, I work on this one. I'm already locked in on the other one, dude. I don't have to do shit.
Kron Howard, speaking of that other show, tell them where they can find you, what you're doing.
It's the 5-Day Rentals podcast. Me, Dan, and our friend Bones. One of us picks a category. We all have to bring a movie that meets that criteria. We watch the movies. We talk about them. We talk about a bunch of other stuff that doesn't make any sense in the context of the movie. But here we are. We have a good time. We're 3 longtime friends. We like each other. Check it out.
Yeah, it's a good show. I like it. I enjoy it.
It's a fantastic show. It's a great show. Everyone should be listening to that.
Yeah. Yeah, listen to that. Listen to DK and Dan like bands. Listen to Letters to Dracula. Purchase it, buy it, all of it. The cassette, the CD, the t-shirts, the limited edition posters.
We do have shirts, by the way. Did I show you that?
No.
We do have some.
Jesus.
I'll show you when we're done.
You're like the man. Hey, DK, tell these motherfuckers what we got coming up next. If we know.
I think we're a lock for top 3 for me, Kill Switch Engage. So I think that's what people need to know. So if you're going to be following along, Kill Switch Engage.
All right. Well, there you have it. We'll see you next time with Kill Switch Engage, top 3 for me. Kron Howard, thank you very much for bestowing the gift of Melvins upon us and all your expertise in that area. Truly a fantastic journey, and I think we formed some good opinions, and I think it was, one of the top highlights for me and DK in 2025. It'll probably be that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Bring me back sometime. The people want Kron back on the show. They're screaming for it.
Okay, we'll see about that. We'll talk. We'll text. We'll group message, whatever you want to do.
Kron, I appreciate you coming on. I do. Hey. This was a fun challenge. I really did enjoy it, even though they didn't become my favorite new band. But, that's going to take some time. But I really did enjoy the discussion. I very much appreciate your time on this. And did you know that Kron backwards is Nork?
Yeah, I did know that.
It's pretty cool.
Snivellum is...
Have you... Well, that's where I was going. God damn it! Well, then you just sunk my bit.
Did you guys listen to the Snivellum album?
I did.
It's awful.
I was going to suggest that we do another podcast like this, but in the Snivellum style.
Sure, we could do top 3 for me, Snivellum. It'll hurt.
I meant just like a shitty, weird version of this. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I'm down.
All right.
Well, Kron Howard, thank you once again. You'll always be my little Judas Chongo. And we'll see you next time, folks. Long live rock and roll. I don't know.
Horns up for Jesus. Let's fuck.
Crash and burn.